Greetings, dear friends. Happy Monday. Happy Remembrance Day and happy Veterans Day, depending on where you are in the world. Just checking in. This is a really auspicious day. I'm super excited to be having the chance to come and check in with you on 11/11. So we're doing our usual check-in to see what can we focus on letting go of in order to more fully line up with our core, with our soul, with our heart's desire. But there's a lot of other things happening too. So we have the full moon tomorrow. And actually, tomorrow also is the midway point between the beginning and end of Mercury retrograde. But the other thing that's really auspicious about today is today Mercury is going across the sun. And so if you've been listening to my chit chat before about Mercury and Mercury retrograde, how much I love Mercury retrograde, this is really a big moment for us, if you like, about communicating what's coming out of your mouth, communicating how are you talking about yourself, how are you talking to yourself. And so with the addition of the sun in that energy is really important to get clear on what do you want to feel and see and be, and communicate from that perspective. Now, the other part too is, well, back to this thing about the Mercury passing the sun. The last time it happened was in 2016, and it's not going to happen again for another 13 years. So I believe that's 2032 is the next time. So really, that's why I'm saying it's so auspicious. And then if you think about the sun, the energy of the sun is all about illuminating, but also connecting with your soul purpose, your soul's calling. So how are you communicating to yourself about that? And communicating from sharing your light, the peace that only you can bring. And so let's just all land together in this moment. And if you're here live, say hi. Or if you're watching the replay, just let me know. But just this energy of this works whether you're watching with me live or watching the replay. So just take a nice deep breath. And just feel into that. Full moon tomorrow, Mercury transit across the sun, the face of the sun. And also about to be halfway through the Mercury retrograde phase. And so, the Mercury retrograde is all about having do-overs, having communication issues come up, but now it's the action phase. As we come into the second half of it, you found out things about yourself. A question that I really encourage you, and I encourage most of my clients to do this too, is to, hi Neva, I am so honored to have you here from Doha. So we're just checking in to see the things that have come up about your communication. And then we start asking ourselves, how do I feel about myself when? So how do I feel about myself when I speak about myself this way? How do I feel about myself when I say I'm going to do this or I'm not going to do this, and then you either do or don't do it? Just check in. Use your feelings as the key piece to communicate from your best and highest way of being. Okay, so I'll stop distracting myself. Now we'll come back into this present moment. We're going to focus on what do we have to let go of, and what's the best thing to focus on letting go of in this week of November, this 11/11 energy, this Mercury shifting across the face of the sun. And let's see what's going to come up for us. What's coming up is overthinking. And so that's really, I love how these little conversations that I get to have with you work, because that's what I was just saying. How do I feel about myself? If I'm really getting in touch with how I feel, it's to get out of your head, to not overthink things. And sometimes we can get ourselves into knots about thinking and running down rabbit holes. And so how can you acknowledge the thinking process, but then realize that it's time to come back to communicating from your heart about who you are? So let me read out from the guidebook. Just sit with that for a moment and see, how does overthinking come up for you? Do you tend to worry? Do you get into negative thought patterns? Do you have fear around you about making decisions? And then I'm going to read this and see if this allows you to go a wee bit deeper on that. We have no control over things outside of our own self in life. It's impossible to make someone do something they do not choose to for themselves. Not everyone will like you, what you do, or how you think or speak. You will gain nothing by draining yourself and trying to figure out what you can't possibly understand. You gain nothing from believing unfounded scenarios of your mind's delusions. Sorry, it was deductions, but there's delusions there too. So you gain nothing from believing unfounded scenarios of your mind's deductions. Let go of your what ifs, let go of the worst case scenario, and trust what life gives you. Be patient and let the answers present themselves. It is time for you to let go of the things that you think are logical and start to really trust in your feelings. Everything is possible when what you choose to do is in alignment with your heartfelt purpose and dreams. Trust your feelings. Perhaps start or continue using a journal to express and explore everything that you would dearly love to be, do, and have. I'm just so thrilled that that one came up, because one of the things I was going to talk to you about, and I didn't get my link set up in time before I hopped on here, I'm starting to think about 2020 and what is my one-word theme. I have a download that's very helpful for that, and I'm going to make that available. So later today in the comments, I'll put the link for you to go and grab that for yourself. But if you think about that, that was very much supportive of get out of your head. Thanks, Andrea. So it's to just get out of your head and actually allow that inner guidance to present itself. So, like I said, I'll make that available to you. But so I was overthinking. I have to get this link to you, and then thought I can't. But now the cards are actually really supporting that is what we need. We as a whole. Remember, there is no separation. What I'm doing is I'm just shuffling. I feel like I need to shuffle these a little bit more. I'm going to pick a tarot card to go along, or to give us some more guidance, some support along this line of giving up overthinking. So giving up overthinking, and it's the Two of Cups that came up. And Andrea, I think the Two of Cups came up for us when we were doing this in Sedona. So Two of Cups, so overthinking is, what stories are you telling yourself? Look in the mirror. This is very much about looking in the mirror and allowing your heart or your emotions to guide what's the best answer, what's the best direction. This is another card that's really supportive of allow that idea of the one-word theme. And I talked a lot about this last year, about choosing a one-word theme. 2019's theme for me was intentional, and that word has certainly served me well. And a lot of people that I know love to do this because it's just a really nice way to help you create the best way for you. So like I said, I'm going to make that guide available to you, and then hopefully you'll choose a one-word theme too. I've started seeing them on Facebook. Some of my friends and colleagues start announcing them or start getting clear on them even now. I'm just choosing 3 cards from Doreen Virtue's Angel Cards, because I like to give us some little bit more support and guidance. And this is beautiful. So the idea is we're letting go overthinking, and we need to remember that we always have support in the unseen realms. You have your inner, your higher self, your guides, your angels, whatever your belief system is on that. There is always support there. So how can you lean into that? When we get into the propensity of overthinking, we tend to forget that sometimes the best thing for us to do to get the clarity on decisions or intentions or anything like that, then we need to just take a deep breath and step back for a moment. And then, hey, Andrea's live. I've got 2 Andreas on here. Hello, Andrea 1 and Andrea 2. Much love to both of you. The next one about when we release that overthinking, we can get really clear on our intentions, because overthinking tends to sort of dilute or detract or derail you even from what is your true intention. This is all about helping you get complete clarity on where you're headed. And then the last card that's come up for us today is dreams. So what are your dreams trying to tell you? Is there signs of this support coming through for you? Is there signs or guidance about your reflection of you, what you're creating, what you would love to create? And so as we start to get into this energy of wrapping up 2019, it is a good time to start looking forward, because 2020 the energy is going to land fast, and it's going to be really, it's almost, to me, it's going to be at a higher level than we've been playing up until this point. And so I really encourage you to use the rest of the time that we have for 2019 to just really get clear on where have you come from, where are you headed, what are your desires, what are your intentions, and up level everything that you do, because you are actually in the exact right spot at the exact right time. We always are. Sometimes we get into arguments about that. I hope this serves you. I hope that you get some clarity on letting go of that overthinking. I wish you a wonderful week, and I'll check in with you again next week. Much love.